Let's Learn English is an online platform for students, teachers and administrators in schools. It's designed to offer a great deal of help for teachers to give extra materials to their students which build upon what the teacher is trying to achieve in either online or face-to-face classes. It's been designed by teachers rather than computer specialists, which means that at every stage we've tried to make sure that the platform is very, very easy and straightforward to use for both students and also for teachers as well, because we know more than anybody else that teachers don't have much time. So every stage every change we've made for the platform, every addition in functionality, it's been designed so that teachers have to do as little work as possible to get as much benefit from the platform for their classes as possible. What I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to log in as a student and show you what the student view looks like. I'm just going to log in now. So here we have a student, Alfonso Brete, and he is just a student in the class. When he logs in, he sees this screen here. This can be changed. What the student sees, what the teacher sees, and what the administrator sees can be changed by the teacher, student, or by the administrator rather. For each individual school or institution. So we have various different things here. The place where the student's going to find most of his or her time is here in the open access area, or following a course of study. I clicked on the study area, the open access study area. Here we have all of the materials on the platform. They're divided into general language, exams, business, and young learners. As we can see, within the different areas, you've got sub-areas: grammar, vocabulary, reading, listening, writing, speaking, pronunciation, etc. If the student clicks on one of these boxes, they get a menu of different levels. And within this level, within this menu, by clicking each of the levels, you'll see, or the student will see, all of the different areas that are available to him or her. If we click on any of these areas, we will then find material about that particular area. So this is adverbs of frequency, a pre-intermediate A2 level unit in the grammar section. This is the menu of a unit. It consists of an introduction and different types of exercise to practice what the student learns in the introduction. All of the units in the platform have a similar look to them. Sometimes there are more or fewer types of exercise. Sometimes there are different types of exercises depending on the type of unit that it is. This one, adverbs of frequency, the student clicks on the introduction. Here they have an example of the target language in context. We can't hear it, I've got the sound down for this. But you see the transcript, so it's all talking about adverbs of frequency: always, rarely, sometimes, never, etc. Pre-intermediate level. Beneath that, you've got a sort of English grammar in use type explanation of the grammar point. This is basically very similar to what you'll be teaching your students anyway, so it's not going to give them anything that you haven't already taught them. It's just to solidify what you've taught them. When they finish that, they click on next and they come to the first type of exercise. This is a matching pairs exercise. They click on the left, they click on the right. So, where are we? Harry and his wife always go out to dinner on Thursdays. Every Thursday, it's a habit of theirs. You rarely go out anymore. You should be more sociable. I never... Where is it? I never go to that town. It's really dangerous. You can... the students are allowed to make mistakes. So Clara occasionally see her mother. Pamela doesn't always taste horrible. All of these, you're able to make mistakes because we want, as teachers, we want to see what the student knows and what they don't know. When they've finished, they click at the bottom and they will get their result. So here we've got the correct answers and the incorrect answers with their corrections underneath. At the bottom it says the score, 40% here, and it gives you your history, how many times you've actually tried this particular exercise. So that's matching pairs. The next type of exercise here is a proofreading exercise. In proofreading, you've got to read a passage which has mistakes embedded in it. You've got to correct the mistakes. So here we have, at the weekend, I normally do the same thing. So here we've got a spelling mistake. Click on the word, correct the mistake, press change, and it changes color. I go usually, this is a word order mistake, of course. Usually go. And change. Again, the student can make the changes. They can make any changes they like. They can introduce words. They can delete words if they want to, etc. And so they just work their way through this. All of the mistakes obviously are connected with the target language, which is here, adverbs of frequency. Click on grade exercise for their result. This is their attempt and this is the correct answer. The next type of exercise here is a multiple choice exercise. Multiple choice exercises, I don't really have to say too much about them. We've all seen them. We've all done them and written lots of them. The only thing I will say is students can change their answer anytime they like. And we'll get a few right here. Sometimes, never, occasionally, often, never. Students click on the exercise, they get the result here. Here, in addition to having the result, you get these little boxes, drop-down menus, which tell you why you've made a mistake, etc. Okay. And the final type of exercise here is a gap fill exercise. Again, sometimes with gap fill exercises you literally have to type the answer in the box. Sometimes, like here, you've got a drop-down menu. Usually etc, etc, etc. Again, press exercise and again you get your answer. Okay, so that's it's a typical type of exercise. One unit will typically provide about an hour's worth of material for a student. The clicking on the icon here always takes you back to the dashboard, which is where the center of everything that happens. So anyway, that's a grammar unit. As I said, most of the units look similar. I'll just show you a reading unit, just to show you that it can be slightly different. All of the reading and all of the listening units in the platform have a lead-in. So this is a upper intermediate reading called Culture Shock. And again, you've got similar types of exercise. You've got a true-false exercise here, etc. You've got gap fill, proofreading, etc. If you click on introduction, you have a lead in here, so you have different types of questions that you could use in class. So for example, my recommendation would be that if you're doing an exercise or a unit from a course book or something on culture, then you might want to give this as a piece of homework. What you'll do is you'll towards the end of the class, you might bring this unit up on the smartboard or on the projector, ask students to look at these lead-in questions in small groups, and then you do your monitoring, you do your error correction, etc. Just for 10 minutes towards the end of the class, and then you give the rest of this unit for homework. It's quite useful. It gives them a nice flow between what you're doing in class and what they're doing for homework. Okay. So that's for all of the speaking and all of the reading and all of the listening materials. In addition, the reading and listening units also have a follow-up. Follow-up is basically a YouTube video which the students can have a look at. It's connected with the same area that they're dealing with, that they've been studying through the unit, but there's no exercises with it. So it's quite a nice, relaxing reward, possibly, for what they've done during the time that they've been studying. We also, in the platform, have speaking and writing units. This is something that you won't find in other learning platforms. For example, with the writing areas here, you can study written compositions. Here, if we take a typical one of these, doesn't really matter, writing a postcard, as well as getting an introduction, as we get in all of the units, talking about what a postcard is, as well as having a reordering exercise, which I think the student might have done actually, or maybe not, where you've got a postcard, but all of the parts of the postcard are in the wrong order, and the student's got to move them into the correct order. In addition to that, grade the exercise to find the answers. In addition, you've got a writing composition where literally you've got to type in your answer. So the student opens this up, and on their keyboard, on their computer, or on their phone or whatever, they will start typing. Here's one that's just been that I did before, I think, this student. Okay, so literally the restaurants are very nice. Okay, and when the student finishes that, they click on grade exercise, and then the exercise will be sent to their teacher or a member of staff at the university, and they will be able to mark them. Okay, so that's writing units. Same goes for speaking units. If I click here on the speaking area, again, what you'll have is, for example, half a conversation. This is feeling ill. You've got half a conversation here where you listen to this part of the conversation.
Hi. Are you okay? You look terrible. Really? Do you think it's something you ate?
Etc. So what you've got is half a conversation. What the students do is they go down to the bottom, they click on this button, and then they record the other half of the conversation. So they will hear, hi, and they will say, hi. They will hear, are you okay? You look terrible. They will say, I don't feel very well. They will hear, really? Do you think it's something you ate? Then they will say yes or no, or they will explain. So what they're doing is you're basically completing a conversation between you and the recording. Again, you press grade exercise when you finish. That gets sent to the student's teacher or to the administrator of the platform in the university to be checked and marked. As I say, most of the time the students will be spending on the open access in the area here, which is the exercises that they might be given by their teacher. Students also get a daily lesson. So every single day they will find a lesson on the platform. It's a 5-minute short 5-minute exercise. This is news. So this is a news story from 1979 on this day, the 25th of September. And you've got a reading passage, and you just got a simple matching pairs exercise here to do. There are 3 different levels. There's elementary, there's intermediate and advanced level. And the students don't have to do these. It's entirely up to them. If they want to do them, they can. If they don't want to do them, that they don't have to. They won't be marked down or anything like that. But what we've done is we've created these lessons of the day, and if they click on their calendar, they will see that they've got a lesson every single day: vocabulary, grammar, more vocabulary. I think this is listening, phrasal verbs, songs, etc. The students should log on to the platform every single day because there will always be something for them to study. That's the idea behind this. Sometimes universities like to give students a pre-created course to study, so that the teachers don't give them a unit to study every single day or etc. They give them a course. A course is pre-prepared with maybe 120 hours of material, and the students just work their way through that course. It's a lot easier for teachers. Some teachers like it, some teachers don't. I'm going to show you a course by logging in as a different student. So this student has exactly the same access as Alfonso, the other student, except here he's got a unit, a course to follow. This is called Elementary Power 120, and this is a unit. This is a course that has 12 modules, or 10 modules, sorry. Each of these modules has lots of materials in it. There's information about it, an entry test. If I click on module number 1, within module number 1, you've got grammar, you've got vocabulary, you've got reading, listening, writing, speaking, spelling, word building, etc., etc. You've also got a revision unit. At the end of every module, there's a revision unit, and the revision unit is cumulative. So the revision unit for module 5 revises everything that students have done in unit 5, unit 4, unit 3, unit 2 and unit 1. So it provides everything for the student. And at the end there's an exit test. The exit test is compared to the entry test that the student does at the beginning of the course, and then the student will see how they have improved during the course. So this is Elementary Power 120. It provides 120 hours of material, enough to get them from elementary or from A1 up to A2 level. And we have those courses for from A0 all the way up to C1. And we also have preparation courses for all the different exams, which work in the same way. So as I said, some universities like to have this facility of courses for their students to follow unit by unit. Other universities, other teachers might prefer to have students study only the material that the teachers provide for them. It's entirely up to you. We also have, in addition to the units here, we have a library, and this library is full of materials that have no exercises connected with them. It's there to provide English language exposure to students, but in a much, well, in a less stressful, perhaps, way than doing exercises where you're marked. There's all sorts of material here. There's idioms, there's jokes, there's English radio. You click here and you can listen to radio, talk radio or anything which can help students by having them exposed to English. For some reason this is not loading at the moment, I'm not quite sure why. Where is the internet? There's television as well. By clicking on TV, you can click on television, and here
have risen there. So it just tells you this is a fast-moving picture. Lots of places are on the watch list, including London. Many areas of the capital.
More COVID news here. Yes, so in addition to radio, which does normally work, I assure you, and TV, you've got dictionary, you've got glossary, you've got course, well, I'll tell you about course books later. You've got YouTubers, all sorts of things. There's loads and loads of material for students to have a look at. I like to have my students have the TV, the radio or the television on in the background. They don't have to listen to it, but it's exposure. It's giving them access to English accents of different types, and this will help them absorb English, even if they're not particularly concentrating on it. So that's the library. We've got various other options. There's students have a world that they can have a look at. This world is something where they collect countries. They earn points, they earn coins, and with these coins they can collect countries. This student has collected Turkey and Afghanistan. We can buy more items here. So I don't know, let's purchase Algeria, why not, for 460 coins. Click on here and then you've purchased another country, and if you click on the country you get some information and the national anthem. It's just a bit of fun, really. It's us trying to create ways for students to be motivated to use the platform. Every time they do exercises, every time they log in, they earn points, and they gradually build up their world. That's the idea behind it.